back with a new season of Northern Kentucky History. Pleasure to welcome you to Northern Kentucky History Hour. I am your host for tonight, Mary Jane Calderon, joining you from my home in Fort Wright, Kentucky. Also joining me by the powers of Zoom is our presenter for this evening, Dr. Brian Hackett, as well as my assistant for this evening, BCM Service Associate Heather Cook. So thank you both for being here. Northern Kentucky History Hour is a project of Behringer-Crawford Museum, Northern Kentucky's museum, that would not be possible without support. Thank you to all of our sponsors, including the City of Covington, Kenton County Fiscal Court, ArtsWave, Kentucky Arts Council, Northern Kentucky Sports Hall of Fame, and our members. If you are not yet a member of the museum, please consider joining for access to discounts and exclusive programming. Learn more and join at bcmuseum.org. Now let's learn more about tonight's presenter. Dr. Brian Hackett is one of the first individuals to receive a PhD in public history in America. He has over 40 years' experience working in the museum business in positions as diverse as tour guide, curator, and executive director. Believing heavily in the philosophy that the best classroom is the real world, Dr. Hackett has designed courses in the NKU Public History program to be as much hands-on as possible. Students do real work in real museums, archives, historic sites, and in historic preservation, making an immediate difference in the community. Dr. Hackett's areas of specialty include exhibits, collections, and material culture. So welcome, Dr. Hackett.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, a reminder before we get started, we love participation from our viewers. So please leave any questions or comments you have in the chat or the Q&A feature, and we will be sure to get to those at the end of the presentation. Now it's trivia time. Tonight's trivia question is, what furniture or design style popular in America is mentioned in Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven? So go ahead and type those answers in the chat. We'll announce the winner and the answer at the end of the presentation. Now we'll go ahead and stop sharing our screen, and Dr. Hackett, we'll turn it over to you. If you want to go ahead and share your screen, we'll get started.
I will do so. All right, give me a second. Get this all figured out. Too far. Okay. I hope you folks are enjoying your evening, and I hope that you'll enjoy tonight's talk. I can't see you or hear you, so I'm hoping that my jokes do not fall flat. But this is something I really love. So I really enjoy this, and I really enjoy getting people to think about the past and how our ancestors lived. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about sort of the general trends on antiques, why our ancestors like things that they liked, why we like the things that we like. And what's fun is my students and I, working with the very talented team at the Behringer-Crawford Museum, are working on an exhibit right now, which actually opens this coming weekend, all about fashion and furniture and of, our great American Republic here. And I'm excited because it gives us a chance to show off and get to talk about what our ancestors like and why they chose what they chose. So let's begin. We're going to start out with a little bit of fun. I'm going to kind of test you a little bit and see what you think. So without further ado, I'll jump into things. Okay, so as you know, anybody that's lived for very long knows that styles and tastes change. And we are absolutely no different from our ancestors. There are things that they liked and things that they didn't like. A lot of times designs and fashion and things change because people are always looking for the new or the connected. And that's really important. And I'm going to give you some examples here. As you can see, here's somebody in a suit coat from maybe the 1990s, and then here's a suit coat that probably is from the 1960s. So you can see the difference and how things have changed. Here's a few other things. Back in the 19th century, especially, they had a very different definition of what was hot and trending. And I use this for example. As you see, there's on the right of your screen, there's Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt, of course, is considered a very sexy movie star. And then on the other side, we have Jeb Stuart. Jeb Stuart was a Confederate cavalry commander, and he had a very rare distinction. The rare distinction that he had was he was considered the sexiest man in the Civil War. As you can see, perhaps by our taste, he's not as attractive as something else might have been. But there's a very famous photograph, and you can Google it, of widows, or these women, all dressed, beautiful women, all dressed in black, gathered around Jeb Stuart's grave after he died in the Civil War, all of them in various stages of mourning. And so it kind of shows you pop culture really has something to do with our tastes, even 150 years ago. Now, same thing here. What was determined as being excited and sexy, and what was considered not. Our tastes have changed. So what influences our styles in our periods? There's a lot that inspires us. There is history. We're coming up on our 250th anniversary of America, and you can bet there are furniture styles and designs that reflect that history. Those of you that were around in 1976 can remember the fashions and the furniture and the movies and everything else that was going on in celebration of that great event. Okay. But not only that, other history influenced us. For example, in the 1830s and 40s, Empire furniture was the style. And it is designated by lots of pillars and almost an architectural look to our furniture. And the reason that is because we were drawing influence from the ancient Greeks. Because in the 1820s and 30s and 40s, we were into the second generation after the American Revolution. And people began to see that the American Revolution was that they thought we were the first democracy to ever exist in the world since the ancient Greeks. And because this was such a revelation and this was such a great thing, we modeled our furniture as to what we thought the Greeks would like. So we have a lot of urns, we have a lot of lyres, we have a lot of pillars, because what did people know about that time? They see the Parthenon, they see the ruins, they see the pottery that are dug up, and they styled that. They styled their furniture and their taste to that look. Another thing that influences us is our culture. You know, it's kind of interesting if you think about our country and how much influence that we've had, that immigrants have had on us. And I like to look at Cincinnati this way. I mean, where else can you go to get Cincinnati chili? And what brought Cincinnati chili to Cincinnati? And of course, we know that it's Greek because it has chocolate, it has cinnamon, and it has cumin in it, all of which are Greek spices. Same thing with the German, the bratwursts and things. That's all part of culture. And so some of the things that you expect to have in your house, you bring with you in your culture. Another one is use. And this one's kind of big. It has a double-edged sword kind of thing. There are things in your house that you have right now that your grandparents never dreamed of. Okay? Sort of like, I'm sure that you might have a computer table or a printer stand or a flat screen TV. Not too long ago, back in the 80s and the 90s, when you bought an entertainment center, it had a big place for a big TV. Now our TVs are flat. So our needs change. Okay. Also, there are things that we have now that our ancestors never had, or they had things that we didn't have. For example, there are indoor plumbing. We have indoor plumbing. Our ancestors quite often didn't have indoor plumbing. So how does that change the makeup of the house? How important is the indoor plumbing you have in your house? Our ancestors never had that. Are there pieces of furniture that have come and gone because of the way our technology has changed or our needs have changed? And speaking of technology, there are things that we can do now that our ancestors never could dream of. We can shape plastic. We can turn woods. We can shape stone. We can do a lot of things that our ancestors never could do. And so, for example, as things become powerful or some things become more available, people want to use them. A good example, when we're talking about things during the William and Mary period in American history, which I'll show you some examples of, one of the things that was really big were turned legs, turned banisters, things like that, because somebody had perfected the lathe. And the lathe, which is used to turn wood, is a great tool for decoration of objects. And so to show that you're wealthy and you're up on the latest things, you use that technology to say, hey, look, I'm on the latest. How many commercials do we see, or how many things do we experience where people are drawing sort of the future in mind? How many phone commercials and how many commercials about technology or about furniture that involve IT or AI? It is just who we are, and it's the way it's always been. It's very interesting because the same things that people feel about modern cell phones and modern streaming and technology services are the same way our ancestors felt about newfangled things like the radio. And it's very interesting to read bits and pieces from the time where people will complain that kids spend too much time with the radio rather than playing outside. Sound familiar? It really does. Another thing is cost and economics. What can you afford? What can you live with? We have, in fact, there's a couple of pieces that are going to be in the exhibit that are very expensive exotic woods, very beautiful pieces of furniture. But then there's also a few pieces in there where the wood grain is absolutely fake. It's made and hand painted to look like expensive woods in order to make the piece look more valuable than it is. And you can imagine what kind of houses or what kind of budget people would have in order to afford pieces of furniture. Okay. So there was always furniture that people would buy who have a lot of money, and there was always furniture that people would use when they don't have a lot of money. And that leads to something else. That leads to resources. And this is kind of fun because resources, and what I mean resources is what kind of woods are available? What kind of technology is available? For example, you can take two pieces of furniture, one made in England and one made in the United States. The one that's made, this is in the early part of the 1700s. You'll see that the wood and the things that are made in England are usually oak. They're usually, some sort of native wood that's in Europe. And quite often white oak is used because it's a great hard wood. However, when they get to America, they have exotic woods. They have walnut, they have mahogany, they have woods that are not available in the old world. And so it's not today, it means value. First of all, it helps you identify a piece that's made in America as opposed to a piece that's made in Europe. And you'll find that the things were made in America that have these more exotic woods are much more valuable than the things that are made in Europe. And it's very interesting because, as you can see, as America grows stronger and as America grows, you'll see the changes in the resources that are used. And it really, really makes a difference. I mean, not only the value of the wood, but also what kind of things were available, like water power or steam power, or and it's really interesting to see that furniture after the Civil War becomes very, very ornate and very, very decorative. If you remember that picture, the opening picture advertising this talk, down in the far left corner, there was a little chair. And that's a Renaissance revival chair, which comes out in the 1870s and early 1880s. And it's a response to the Civil War. Not only because the war is over and everybody's celebrating and it's a new Renaissance for America, but also because of technology and the ability that they gained during the war, they can now turn out and mass produce more decorative furniture. And that's exciting to share. And it's exciting to see because it helps you kind of understand the period that these things were happening. Also tastes. You look back at the 1970s and you look at the clothing and you look at the hairstyle and you go, oh my gosh, what were we thinking? Our taste change. Our ancestors' taste change. I mean, they looked at something that their ancestors who fought the American Revolution and were alive during the American Revolution, the next generation looks at the stuff. I don't want to dress like grandma. I want something new. I want something trendy. And what's exciting about that is that I had a friend do a study about this. we've always heard about a cultural lag, like something that's popular in New York will not be popular in Cincinnati for, a decade or two. That's complete false. She found that the things that are available in stores in New York were available in stores in Cincinnati within 3 weeks because we had things like the canal and we had boats, we had steamboats and we had trains. So culture and taste sweep through all of these areas. So what's popular in New York is popular in Cincinnati, it's popular in Indianapolis, it's popular in St. Louis, it's popular in Colorado. Okay, that's fun. Also, current events. As you know, even looking today, the things that are popular, the things that are, um, like certain types of T-shirts or some, sports teams, current events. I mean, I bet you the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl, and I bet you there's a spike in the purchase of jerseys that reflect Seattle Seahawks. You can count on it. I mean, think back through time through things of your childhood, things that were on TV, things that were in the news. Think about the Vietnam War and all the protests about the Vietnam War and all the things that were patterned along that. The music, the movies, the pop culture, the art. Okay. Same thing with furniture. Okay. That makes sense. And there are other influences too. Um, it's amazing to me how you can get on Amazon right now and Google Harry Potter inspired furniture or decoration, and there it is. It's all there. It's funny because perhaps our ancestors didn't do as much as we do because they didn't have the technology, but was popular to them it shapes them. And same with us. What's popular to us shapes us. So with that, we're going to move on. Let's look at some stuff. Okay. Let's have some fun. We're just going to look at some popular culture stuff. Here are two historic houses. There's the one on the left and the one on the right. Which one do you think is a Southern house? For those of you who said the one on the left, that's correct. How can you tell that it's a Southern house? And as opposed to it, the house on the right, where do you think it is? It's a Northern house. Shall we look at the differences? Okay. What do you notice on the house on the left when it comes to windows? There's a lot more windows. Why do you need windows in the South? Okay. How about for fresh air and sunlight? Okay. Also, what are those two big things on both sides of the house? They're real tall and they go up off the roof. What are those called? Those are chimneys, right? Okay. Where are the chimneys placed? They're on the outside wall. Why would you place your chimneys on the outside wall? It's because in the South, you don't need so much to worry about heat. In fact, if you're cooking, you want to get the heat out of the house as much as you can, so you put your chimneys on the outside. Okay. Also, look at the roof. Is the roof gently slanted, or is it very high-pitched roof? Okay. Now let's look at the house on the right. Okay. What's the pitch on that roof? Why would the pitch need to be higher in the northern house than it would be on the southern house? Just think about the last couple of weeks. Snow. Got to get the snow off the roof. And a strongly pitched roof is going to lose snow. All right. Also, look at where the chimneys are placed. It's cold in the north. You want to maintain a mass of heat as best you can, so you put your chimneys on the inside. You'll also notice there's a lot less windows. In addition to that, look at the size of the porch. A lot of people like to sit on their front porch to cool off in warm weather. That's not so much important in the north, is it? Okay. Hope you've seen enough of that. Well, I've got more to show you. Here's another one. These are a pair of bookends. Okay. And of course, you could probably date these bookends pretty close to when came out. Okay. What do you think made these Egyptian influenced bookends popular at a certain time? I'll give you hints. The 1920s. What happened in the 1920s? A very major discovery in archaeology that swept the world. You know what that was? King Tut's tomb. And so not only do you see bookends in the shape of these Egyptian beauties, but you also see it appear in furniture. You see it in tapestry. You see it in ceramics. You see it in glassware. Okay, because this is popular. This is pop culture. Another interesting thing, and one of my students pointed this out, and I don't hope I don't offend anybody with this, but one of my students pointed out, and she said that these statues aren't very well endowed. And they got to thinking about it, and it was a speculation for the class that I was teaching that perhaps even though these were Egyptian beauties, they were fashioned on the aesthetic of the 1920s, where women were fashionable, less endowed. So that's something to think about. Even though these are reflecting 2,000-year-old or 3,000-year-old Egyptian women, they're still built like 1920s women. Something to think about. How about this? I apologize, the picture's not very clear. But this is a mustard or candy dish. It dates from 1898, and you may not recognize it, but it's in the shape of a battleship. So what happened in 1898 that had to do with a battleship that was so popular an event that you find it in glassware, you find it in artwork, you find it in all parts of American culture? This is the battleship Maine. And if you know anything about the Spanish-American War, it started with the destruction of the Maine. So this is a glass compote in the shape of the battleship Maine. There are also a number of these that have Admiral Dewey, who was the American in charge of the American Navy at the time. So again, not only a reflection of pop culture, but a reflection of history as well. How many of you have an entertainment center in your house? How many of you had an entertainment center from the 1980s in your house? Well, this is an entertainment center. And I don't know if your entertainment center at home has these features, but does your entertainment center at home have a record player? How about a reel-to-reel tape player? If you have that, you're pretty lucky. Also, I want you to look at something very, very closely. Right in the center is a radio. How many bands, frequency bands, do you have on your radio at home? Most of us have two bands. We have FM and we have AM. If you look at this picture, it looks like there's at least a dozen different bands on here. This entertainment center, which dates from the late 50s, early 60s, has shortwave radio capabilities. Pretty interesting. Our entertainment centers don't have that. And the entertainment center I had in the 80s doesn't have that either. So let's get started. Let's look at American furniture and let's talk about some of the styles and phrases. Okay. First of all, the first type of American furniture you see in America is referred to as Jacobean or sometimes Mannerist style. And it dates from about 1620 to about 1700. It's sort of a northern European interpretation of the Italian Renaissance, to be truthful, because of course people were talking about the Renaissance and how great it was. Another big influence, and you see this coming out throughout about furniture and styles for a long time, is exotic places, especially China. And that's because China is this place. They had technology that we couldn't even dream of. They had porcelain, and they had porcelain 500 years before Europeans did, and they had it. It was so common they used it as ballast in ships, and they would bring it to trade in Europe and America, and they found that the stuff they had in the bottom of their ship was valuable, and they traded it. Okay. The term Jacobean refers to the rule of King James, 1567 to 1625. A lot of these names were put on in the 21st century or the 20th century, so they're kind of loose when it comes to the names. They had decorated styles, which means they used carvings and they used exotic woods in order to get certain shapes and certain styles. Excuse me. Craftsmen brought with them not only English taste, but also English methods of woodworking and choice of material. This is kind of interesting. This is kind of key. The early stuff that you find in America that's made in America is made to look very much like the British stuff. However, it's and they actually choose the same wood because let me back up a little bit. The craftsmen that came over here to build furniture were building furniture with the tools and the materials that they were used to. So they would look for oak trees in America to build furniture out of. So in the very first years of the American experience, before the Revolution, they were building things out of oaks, which were common in Europe and common in America. But it wasn't until a few years in that we start using more of the exotic woods that we have. The chestnut, the walnut, the maple, those kind of things are now available. And it's a way, like I said before, a way of determining where something is made. Okay. So here's some terms for you. The person who puts wood together to form it into a piece of furniture, is not a woodworker, is not a craftsman. They refer to those people as joiners. Because what they would do is that they join pieces of wood together to make something. In fact, things are put together from pieces and they are joined. Okay. And this is an example of panel construction. We've got examples of this kind of stuff in the exhibit at the Behringer-Crawford Museum. So some of the terms that I want you to remember. Styles run vertically. That means they go up and down. So pieces on the left side and the right side of this illustration are styles. The ones that run horizontally are called rails. That's why you have chair rails, okay? Because they run across the top of a chair. The way I remember it is that rails are like trains. If you put trains on rails, if you put them vertically, they'll fall off. So they have to be horizontal. Okay, that's one way to remember. All right. And there's panels in the middle. Okay. And when these pieces are joined together, there's a hole that is cut into one piece, and it's a mortise and tenon, where the mortise is a hole in one board and the tenon is a protrusion from the other board, and they fit in together, and then they put a wooden spike through to hold it together, and that wooden spike is called a trunnel, which is an English corruption of the word tree nail. So that's where that comes from. When you say a trunnel, that's an old English way of saying tree nail. Okay. So also another thing to remember is that trunnel is made of different woods. So that when wood expands and contracts, and all wood does it because it changes humidity and temperature, is so that the trunnel would expand and contract at different rates than the rest of the wood, and it would always remain tight. Okay. Our ancestors were pretty clever. Here's an example. You have the rail running up and down here, and then you see the stiles going up and down, and you see the rails coming in from the side, and you see those little dark round circles. Those are the trunnels. That's for holding it together. So this is a kind of building material and the way they did it for the very earliest American furniture, the Jacobean and William and Mary furniture. You also see it as you go into Queen Anne and some others, but this is the primary doing a way of putting wood together in those earliest periods. Here's another example. This is a panel construction. So you have the rail coming in from the left, the stile coming down, and then you have the panel up to the left. And you can see the trunnels there. I guarantee you, when you go look at some of the pieces of wood furniture in this exhibit at the Behringer-Crawford Museum, you're going to see this stuff. Okay. And what's really neat about it, if you get to recognize it, you can decide if something's really old or not. Because later on, when they do reproductions, they basically will just drill a hole and put a peg in it to make it look like a trunnel. The thing is that they have to be in the right place. If they're not, they don't function. I hate to say it, but a local auction house recently was selling a piece of furniture that they said was from the late 17th century. And they had all sorts of pictures around it and everything. And I showed it to my students and they picked it out right away that it was a fake, but they sold it as an original. So it's very interesting how, if you know what you're looking at, not only can you save yourself from getting ripped off, but you can also make money. I mean, a lot of the things that I've bought in auctions and antique shops and thrift stores and things like that are because the person selling them doesn't know what they are. And so it's important to know that. Okay, moving right ahead. Another term that you're going to run across is the word turned. Okay, so turned legs, turned banisters, whatever. This is done on a lathe. Okay, which means it's a spinning device, and you can Google what one looks like. But at this time in world history, they had lathes that they began to perfect, and they could do better and better and better turnings. And it was a sign of wealth. So a person who does turning of this kind of wood, believe it or not, is called a turner. And how many people with last names that you know are Turner or Joiner? Okay. And it's a sign of wealth. And I'll show you some examples of this in a second. See, this table has turned legs. Okay, they're not straight, they're not carved, they're turned. They're done on a lathe. Another thing that's interesting that comes out at this time is open staircases, because banisters are considered a luxury. Quite often when people design their house, they didn't enclose their staircases so they could show off their banisters. Okay, and like it says, it can be plain or fancy. And this becomes a very important part of furniture. In fact, to the point of being somewhat ridiculous. And I'll explain that in a few minutes. This is a foot turned lathe. Like the old sewing machines, we used to use your legs to power the sewing machine. You used to have to do that with a lathe as well. Another term, and I love this term, upholstery, is the padding on a chair or any type of seating furniture. It begins in the Jacobean period, and it's also seen as a sign of wealth. But the term upholstery comes from the term upholder. So if you're an upholder or an upholsterer, you hold people up in their seats. And that's where we get the term upholstery from. It is a corruption of the word upholder. I wonder if you knew that. I think it's fun. Well, we'll see. I'll ask you, and then when we get to the end of this, how many people knew that? So let's look at some examples of Jacobean furniture. Okay, we'll go through this pretty fast. This is a joint stool from about 1670. And basically, if you think about the early years in America, we didn't have a lot of space, and we didn't build a lot of big places. We had to get by with very small places, and so therefore the furniture that we used had to be really utilitarian. So this kind of chair, this joint stool, could be used for sitting on. It could be used as a small table. You could put boards on it and make it a table. But they're all pretty much the same. If you look really closely here, this is not a very good picture, but the legs are turned, and then they have these cross pieces that come in, these rails that come in, and they're mortise and tenon into the sides. Okay, can't see them very well, but if you look really closely, you can see the trunnels on this piece, and it's pretty cool. And it's very early, but you got to admit, you don't have a lot of luxury to have a lot of furniture in your house, especially in the very earliest pages, in the earliest stages of the development of America. Here's a couple more examples that are a little bit more complete or in better shape. These are really, really rare. Okay. We happen to have one in the exhibit, but they're rare. As you can see, if you look closely, you can see the turnings and you can see the trunnels that are holding these together. Another thing that you get, of course, people want to have places to store their most valuables. And we call these Bible boxes. And they're basically curved boxes that are carved and put together. And they call them Bible boxes because, of course, the Bible's being very important. You put your Bible in it, but you put your other valuables in it as well. Okay. And this is interesting because this becomes the start of something. Because the box becomes a chest when you put legs on it and you make it bigger. Okay. So this is a Jacobean chest from 1660 to 17. Actually, this is wrong. It should be 1660 to 1680. I apologize. I messed that up. But you can see, if you look really closely, you can see the mortise and tenon. This is paneled construction, like I showed you before. And this is a really nice early period. Here's another one. Now, this is the next innovation, is that you have a chest. Okay, when you open the top, put your blankets in, put whatever you want. Okay, but then they start adding drawers. So once you dispense with the chest on top and put drawers in, it becomes a chest of drawers, as opposed to, and the terms that they use for this without the drawers would be a coffer chest. Okay, and you can imagine you're not too far away from coffin, because basically a coffin is a box that you put people in. This is kind of a nice piece because you can see that it has those black kind of decorations that are on the sides and in the middle. That's called embossing. And what they do is they would turn on a lathe a piece of wood, and then they would cut that wood in half and they would glue it or attach it to the piece. And that's called embossing. So those little things that are sticking out in 3D are called bosses. So adding them to a chest is embossing. Here's another one. This is a chest of drawers from 1678. And you can see how they've dispensed with the chest or the opening part, like the blanket chest, and have turned it into a set of drawers. And you see how well it's carved and decorated? The idea that our ancestors were boring is amazing because it's not true. The only reason why we think our ancestors are boring because old photographs are just black and white. We have no real way to see what color they actually used. Excuse me. Here's a chest, the same chest of drawers. It has split spindles that are there. It has bosses, it has painting, and it has panel construction, which tells you this is a very early chest. Now, this is another adaptation. This has a chest below with doors on it, because you can see the hinges. It has embossing, and then they added this shelf on top. And this is often referred to as a frame on chest or a shelf on chest piece. How about this? This is a beautiful one, 1689. All right. And you can see the chest below, and you can see the top part added. You can see the drop finials on either side, and you can see the elaborate carving. All right. Now, they have a new name for this piece now. This is called a cupboard because that's where you put your dishes, your cups. This is where you board your cups. It also is called a press because that's also where you put your linens, like your tablecloths and your napkins. So it becomes a press cupboard, a place for your linens and a place to put your cups. You board your cups there. Our ancestors were nuts. Here's one. This is a little bit of a more of poor person's chest. It has turned feet. It has highly decorative painting on it. And this would be a transitional piece from Jacobean until our next period, which is William and Mary. So as you can see, we'll go through this pretty fast, but you can see things are changing here. There's less ornate decoration and a lot more painted decoration. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about these chairs because there are some banister back chairs that you're going to see in the exhibit. And you see up here the crest rail at the top of the chair. Well, that's because that's the back of the chair. And those banisters, basically what they do is they get on a lathe and they make these banisters, and then they cut them and use them as chair backs. All right. What's interesting about these is that you can find them. I mean, they're rare, but what's really neat is the way the wear pattern is on them. And once you notice the wear pattern, they're worn because of 100, 200, 300 years of doing like dragging them or sitting on them. And you can't fake that. You just absolutely can't fake it. So moving right along. This is called a joined grate chair. And basically, remember that panel construction? And if you take the arms off this and just look at the back, this is a panel, mortise and tenon, panel construction, back of a chair. So all you do is add to it. You add carvings, you put in arms on it, you put legs on it, and you notice if you cut off the top from the arms up, that's a joint stool. And if you look at the bottom rail down there, you can see where people have been putting their feet. And this particular piece is made out of red and white oak. Okay. So if you ask the question, was this made in England and then brought to America, or was it made in America? It's made in America because white oak is extensive in Europe, but red oak doesn't exist until it's taken from America back to Europe. So at the time of this, in fact, you don't have many pieces in Europe being made of red oak until the mid 1700s. Pretty cool. And again, just wanted to show you, it's got a plank seat. You see the mortise and tenon that hold it together. Neat. This is a turned grate chair. Basically, it's somebody showing off that they have access to a lathe, and it's a chair made out of spindles. Very common, very, yeah, but would you put that in your house? Yeah, it doesn't quite meet our modern taste. This is 1750 to 1775. This is actually a little later one. How about this one? William Brewster, who lived from 1566 to 1643, and one of the original pilgrims at Plymouth, this is his chair. And so chairs that are made like this are called Brewster chairs. And they are great chairs. So that's a great turned chair. But because of the style and the way it looks like, any chair that looks like this, we call Brewster chairs. Here's a couple more period chairs of that time period. You can see the carvings, you can see the turnings, you can see the seats are all rush seats made out of rushes. Okay. There's also another chair that's very popular in this period. It's called a Cromwellian chair. Named after Cromwell, Oliver Cromwell. It's turned and joined. You can see the mortise and tenon on it. You can see the turned legs. You can see the stretchers and the stiles. The other interesting thing is the upholstery. I don't know if that upholstery looks familiar to you, but that upholstery is often used out of Oriental rugs. So the originals, they used Oriental rugs to use as upholstery. However, beware, and the reason I said this is that these were reproduced in the 20th century during a revival period of Jacobean furniture. So you have to look for wear patterns and construction to let you know that it's real or not. So I know I'm running out of time, so we're going to jump into William and Mary, and then I think we might save the rest of the stuff for a later talk. So let's look at William and Mary. So what you have here is you have two chests. The one on the left is sort of a transitional piece from the Jacobean period. You see the decoration. You also see that it has the feet on it are called onion feet. Okay. So that was a generation of a chest. Well, as you got into William and Mary, and you got more money, well, you want a little fancier piece of furniture. So the furniture on the right is what we refer to as a chest on frame because it's on legs. Okay. Pretty much the same number of drawers except for the bottom part. And it has spiral turned legs, which is kind of neat. And it has drop finials. So the reason where that comes from is the restoration of the English king. If you know anything about English history, the king was overthrown. Oliver Cromwell came in, and they had a republic for a while. And then people hated it so much they brought the king back. So they needed to bring a relative, and William and Mary, who were living in the Netherlands, were brought back to be king. And what they brought with them, they brought the style from that was popular in the North Country down to England. Okay, it's kind of interesting because same thing happens years later when they bring the Christmas tree. Prince Albert, because he was German, brought the Christmas tree to England, and that's why we have the Christmas tree in America. All right, so strong Dutch influence with some English taste. This is a lowboy. It has turned legs. Sometimes these legs are called trumpeter legs for obvious reason. And it has a cross stretcher. Instead of going from front leg to front leg, it goes from front leg to back leg. And those things that are pointing up and the two things that are pointing down, they're called finials. And they were added at this time. Here's another example. The one thing about William and Mary furniture, quite often the complaint about it is the proportions aren't right. Okay. And so with the proportions not being quite right, they're really easy to tell. Okay. So William and Mary got turned trumpet legs, cross stretchers. You got ball or bun feet that end in a ball or bun. They have aprons, which means below the bottom set of drawers, there's some wood fringe, and that's called an apron. Had it gone all the way down to the bottom, they would call that a skirt. Okay. Aprons only go so far down. Skirts go almost all the way to the floor. It's also when they start introducing veneer into wood. Often the wood that they use, the veneers they used were burl walnuts. Okay. Here's another one. This is a chest on frame, and this has a japanned finish. And this japanned finish are rather interesting because you put down a black layer of lacquer, and then you use plaster and you shape images and designs onto the face of the furniture, and then you gild it. You come back and you put gold paint on it. This one has drop pulls. This has trumpeter legs. It also has scallop stretchers that are not straight, and it has onion feet. What's really neat about this is that, of course, the builders, the craftsmen, which were highly skilled, had no idea what these exotic places. Quite often, these would have Oriental themes or Oriental images, like pagodas and that kind of stuff. Well, they didn't know what they looked like, so they don't look correct. And also, quite often you see animals in China that shouldn't be there. You see camels and things like that because our knowledge of the world and what's in it was not complete. This becomes obvious later on when you look at things like dolphin candlesticks or dolphin influenced furniture, and they have scales. The dolphins have scales. Of course, that dolphins don't have scales, but our ancestors didn't. This is a William and Mary lowboy. It has drop pulls, it has drop finials, it has cross stretchers, it has trumpeter legs, and a very decorative skirt. And of course, another thing that's introduced at this time is the gate leg table. Okay, where You don't have a lot of space again. You have more than the previous generation, but you don't have a lot of space. So you need things that can get bigger. And so this is a drop leaf table where you swing out two of the legs and you bring up the sides of the table, and you've got a table that'll seat four rather than just a side table. So jumping in then to Queen Anne, 1730 to 1760. And this is where things are almost to the highest point of American furniture making. Okay. Queen Anne. This one has a cabriole leg. See that leg, how it's curved? That's supposed to represent the leg of a dragon. And it's very much Chinese influence. Okay. This one has drop finials as well at the bottom. It has finials at the top. It also has what's referred to as a broken pediment. That means like a rooftop that comes together at the beginning. This goes up a certain way and stops. So that's referred to as a broken pediment. And this is a very cool style that's introduced during the Queen Anne period. There's a low boy, very similar, cabriole leg, coming down to what's called to a pad foot. You see at the bottom of the foot, there's this little piece down there. It's if the dragon has his foot on a pad. Okay. Here's another high boy. Shell melt motifs are very common. You see here, this also has a broken pediment. It has flame finials, and look how delicate those legs are. It almost, if you look at these, you can't believe it can hold its own weight. Okay. This is a Queen Anne chair. Solid backsplat, solid rail, very much those cabriole legs again. You also see winged chairs like this, okay? And these are really funny because these have a great history with them. Of course, they made chairs like this and they were for comfort. And in drafty houses, they kept the wind down. But, excuse me a second. These also had another purpose. A lot of these chairs were actually potty chairs. In fact, potty chairs, they would have a seat that you could lift out, and there would be something to sit on and a chamber pot put beneath it. And the side pieces would give you a little bit of privacy, because you would do that in a room full of people, believe it or not. And it's interesting because the 18th century term for going to the bathroom, going to the outhouse, was referred to as taking one's ease. And that's why we have a thing called the easy chair, because they were originally designed as potty chairs. How many of you knew that? Another Queen Anne high boy. Gorgeous, gorgeous woods. Here's one with a flat top. This is made out of tiger maple. This is a very good example of what's available in America that's not available anywhere else. And this would be an interior of this time period. Pretty exotic, pretty beautiful. So I'm going to do a few minutes of this and then I'm going to call it. But Chippendale, 1760 to 1790, this is the high point of American furniture making, actually world furniture making. Furniture pieces like this are the best built, the most exotic woods. You cannot reproduce these in any way close to what they were originally. I'll give you an example. This is the Goddard Townsend desk. This was made by a family of carpenters called the Goddards and the Townsends. Okay. This went for sale back 1990 or something like that, went up for sale. Which of those did it go for $2,500, $25,000, $250,000, $2.5 million, or $25 million? It went for $25 million. In fact, here's another chair. This chair, which is a really nice example. One of the things you'll notice that you start seeing in Chippendale furniture is you see a claw and ball at the bottom of the feet. That's supposed to represent a dragon holding a pearl. Once again, Chinese influence. Okay. This chair sold for $5 million, and it was supposedly purchased by Bill Cosby, the comedian who's now got a lot of problems and in his jail. But he was a big furniture collector of antique furniture. In fact, in the television show, the sitcom that they had, the Cosby Show, quite often in the background of the scenes were some of his exotic furniture. Anyway, $5 million. I have some furniture that I'd like to sell. I hope I can get that much for. So why is this so valuable? Well, 1750 to 1800 is considered the high point of fine furniture making in the world. Okay. The best woods are available. The skill, somebody could actually spend a year working on a piece of furniture, and it would be reflected in the price. We can't spend a year doing that. And of course, being handmade and things. Also, some of the woods that they used, the walnuts, the cherries, the mahoganies, you can't get those anymore, especially the mahogany. The flame mahogany is pretty much extinct. And I'll show you an example of that in a minute if I have time. Okay. New technologies and wooden materials from places like the Caribbean and America made these furniture pieces possible. Labor is cheap and abundant. Fine craftsmen could spend a year on one piece. And of course, again, we're now communicating more with China, and we're getting and learning more. So here's a breakup of that. How exotic are those? How long did it take a craftsman to build this? Well, he could spend a year on it. And of course, at the time it would be sold, back then, it would reflect that. I mean, $25 million is not too much for a piece of furniture this rare and exotic. Again, here's a representation of the chair. It has a crest rail. It has ears. Chippendale introduced these ears. It has a pierced back splat. It has claw and ball feet. And of course, it's the first time we've ever had designers. Not these guys, it's Chippendale. But Chippendale was actually was a man who wrote a book called The Gentleman and Cabinet Maker's Directory. And basically, it was blueprints and designs of furniture. So you could, even though he lived in England and his furniture manufacturing was England, his book could be taken to America and they could use it as a template to build furniture here. This is a Chippendale highboy. Do you see the color of the wood? Do you see how the wood, this is called flame mahogany. You can't buy that anymore. You can't make that anymore. It does not exist. Okay. So you have a broken pediment, you have filaments, you have the cabriole legs ending in claw and ball feet. This is furniture making at its highest because of what's available that's never going to be available again. Now, again, claw and ball foot, supposed to be a dragon pulling a pearl, but you can actually look at these and the different shapes of the claws will tell you where they're made. Are they made in Boston? Are they made in New York? Are they made in Philadelphia? Because the shape of the ball changed depending on its location. And of course, the mahogany, the flame mahogany. You can't find that stuff anymore. It does not exist. Okay, you can buy mahogany. You can go to the furniture fair and buy a table that's got a mahogany top on it, but it doesn't look like this because this doesn't exist anymore. Other fine woods that are available, tiger woods, tiger maple, and bird's eye maple. The little circles are supposed to look like the eyes of a bird. And of course, we have exotic forms. Over here on the left, that's a high style Chippendale chest of drawers. Over here on the right, it's a Chippendale chest of drawers, but it's more of a country piece. And of course, it's tiger maple. The one over on the left is mahogany. But do you see the legs? Even though one is sort of blocky, they're very similar. They're supposed to represent that leg. But on the one on the right, they made them straight rather than carving them. Just some examples of some Chippendale highboys. 'Boys. and of course mirrors and side chairs. The side chair on the left, do you see how the apron or the apron at the bottom between the legs is so deep? Speculation is that chair's a potty chair, and that was used to hide the chamber pot that was underneath it. Some side chairs. I don't know if you knew this or not, but chairs without arms are referred to as side chairs, and the ones with arms, of course, are referred to as armchairs. Another set of Chippendale side chairs. And then, of course, sometimes you hear the term Chinese Chippendale. This is an example. This is what makes it Chinese Chippendale is the fretwork there on the face below below the top, ornately carved. These are really rare and are very expensive because these often broke, and so it's very hard to find them in good shape. And I think we'll call it right now. Gone a little longer than I expected, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be glad to do some other styles when it's appropriate.
Yes, definitely. That was an excellent presentation. I didn't want to cut you off because it was very interesting. I was actually even taking notes because I learned a lot about the furniture and a lot of things that I want to look for now in our exhibit, which
Oh, good. You're gonna see them. They're all there.
yes, and our exhibit Treasures from the Attic, 250 Years of Fashion and Furniture will be opening on February 14th, just so everyone knows. There we go. Perfect.
Sorry, I had to find that button.
We did have a lot of guesses for the trivia question. Heather, sorry, I called you Jessica. Heather, could you please repeat that question for us?
I'll be glad to give hints.
The question was, what furniture or design style popular in America is mentioned in Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven?
Okay, and we had quite a few guesses. Do you want to tell him some of those? Make sure none of those were correct in a way. Because I know that at first there were people talking about the bust. Is that what it was? The palace?
The bust of Pallas, yes.
We had Gothic. We had Victorian, Maximalist, Chippendale,
Chamber?
Sheridan, Hepplewhite.
So
we did just get another guess in that I believe is correct.
uh-oh.
Jennifer Williams, Empire is correct.
That's correct. Way to go,
Just
Jennifer.
in the
Way
nick
to
of
go.
time, Jennifer.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So if you could send us your mailing address so we can get your prize to you, that would be great, Jennifer.
Yeah, you can send that in a private chat to directly to us on here.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
those of you that don't know, in the Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, he talks about the raven flying in and landing on the bust of Pallas, and that's Pallas Athena. Of course, is a Greek god, and of course, Greek is the influence of Empire furniture.
Okay. Yes, because I was wondering where these answers were coming from because I wasn't sure, so I Googled it.
Well, the best version that I know of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, actually there's two, but the best one I like the best is the one that was done by the Simpsons cartoon. I like that a lot.
Oh, very nice.
There's also one by Christopher Walken, and that's good too, but I like the one with the cartoon.
I love Christopher Walken. He's great. Okay, so I know we had a question too from Donna, didn't we, Heather?
Yes. Did the furniture pieces come from families who saved them through the years?
Yeah, a lot of them have. Surprisingly, lots of them that were here were passed down through families given to the museum. Some were actually purchased at auctions. Some items were picked up at St. Vincent de Paul or Goodwill. But the way I look at these antiques is that you never really own them. You have custody of them temporarily, and then they're passed on. I know there's a couple of pieces that date from the late 1600s, early 1700s that are in this exhibit. And you got to think that it's got to be in the possession of 25 or 30 people that it's been passed on. But a lot of people keep them in the family. In my my experience as a museum director, there is a time period, and it lasts about 25 years between the time when a piece of furniture is considered junk or then it becomes considered a valuable antique. And there's that dangerous period. Um, and it's interesting because, like when you go to wonderful places like St. Vincent de Paul, you can pick up some of this stuff for a bargain because it's right in that danger zone where people think, now I don't like it because my grandmother had it, and then the next generation, oh, my great grandmother had that, I've got to have one, kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, it really makes me want to take a closer look at some of the things that I come across at St. Vincent or at,
There are, I have to admit, some of the pieces that are in the exhibit came from Goodwill or came from St. Vincent de Paul, and Habitat for Humanity as well.
Mhm. Well, I'm still amazed at some of the things I learned, the different types of chairs. I had no idea. The Turner, that terminology, I did not know. That was a sign of wealth. Um, Especially the potty chair in front of everyone. I'm still a little surprised by that.
Our ancestors had a different aesthetic than we do. I mean, if you don't, I mean, I tell my students, especially my undergrads, that, they hear, oh, the good old days, the good old days, the good old days. There were no such thing as the good old days. It's only when you were a kid and didn't have any responsibility. So no matter when that was. But toilet paper wasn't invented until 1871. So before that, deodorant wasn't really made popular or even used until the 1920s,
Mhm.
you know. So I mean, it's just a matter of perspective, I think.
I think a lot of those chairs look so small to me too. So I was wondering if it's because Americans were so much smaller back then.
Well, we have lot better nutrition than our ancestors did. And they tend to be small, but also an interesting thing about like bedding and beds. Beds are shorter because people slept more sitting up than they do today. Um, they we lay more flat today, but back then they would use multiple pillows and sit up. And the reason that is because a lot of us have allergies, a lot of us have seasonal colds and that kind of stuff. They didn't have the medicines, the NyQuils, the Dayquils, the Dristan, or whatever. They don't have those. And so people set more sitting up so they could breathe better. And if you're sitting up, you don't really need that long of a bed.
I love it. It really makes you want to really take a closer look at everything, especially when you come and see this exhibit. It's going to be fabulous, just so everyone knows.
Yeah,
So,
it's fun. I think it's the best exhibit I've ever worked on, and I've been doing this for a long time. You can't beat working with the people from Behringer-Crawford. They are the top of the top,
oh, wow.
and they're so much fun to be with. And if you've ever worked on a museum exhibit, it gets to a point where you get really punchy, and it's fun. And we're at that stage. I've got my students working on it. We got the Behringer-Crawford people. We got some volunteers working on it, and it's just funny. It really is, and it's so much fun, and we learn so much from each other, and it's great because of the ideas that we share. Like we're trying to figure out how this portrait should be hung or where it should go, and we have so many great ideas, and we just talk them out until we get to the right conclusion. And I can't tell you how grateful NKU is, and me personally, working here with my colleagues in the public history program, that we have a place where we can work, where my students can actually build an exhibit, and they can put that on a resume.
Mhm.
And you can't beat that experience. I could sit there and lecture to them all day, and 10 minutes working with a real museum on a real project is worth 10 times as much.
It's amazing. And we're very proud to be a partner with NKU and to collaborate on this project.
Yeah, I hope I know we've done collaborations before. This is much bigger than we've ever done. And I really, like I said, I'm really grateful because you're a team of professionals and you're willing to work with young professionals who are learning the profession. So
Well, thank you so much, Dr.
you're
Hackett.
welcome.
Such a great presentation.
Was there any other questions that I can answer?
That's all that I have on my end, Heather.
No, that's it.
Well, folks,
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed it because I had a blast. And I look forward to doing this again whenever you need me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hackett.
You're welcome.
For more Northern Kentucky history throughout the week, check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, where you can find the latest Curators Chat along with all of our past Northern Kentucky History Hour presentations. Please like and subscribe. And that's all we're going to have time for this evening. Thank you again to all the sponsors and supporters. Until next time, everyone, take care and good night. And thank you, Dr. Hackett and Heather. Have a great night.